The big revelation of Naruto has finally arrived. The conspiracy that's been happening for so many years while the series has been running. The revelation of Tobi's identity. The one that we've seen in the beginning where he was acting like such a buffoon, to the one who acts as murderer, to the one who has no names. We have finally realized that this man is Obito Uchiha. So you might be thinking, who the hell is Obito Uchiha? Well, he's basically Kakashi's old classmate or whatever, where you can like picture them as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, where Obito and Kakashi were in a squadron just like Team 7, but with another character called Rin. Well, basically in this episode we basically get to see Naruto fight a bit with Obito and eventually use a Rasengan which hits Obito's mask, which shatters it apart and reveals his identity. So we get to see that Kakashi does recognize who is under the mask, and we get to see basically flashbacks or like little cutscenes of who Obito Uchiha actually is. And to be honest, I found this segment really boring. I don't know about you guys, but just seeing like these little animations going on, but like there was no dialogue at all. I already knew what was happening, but I just find it a little bit boring, to be honest. But other than that, it was really good because we get to see a little bit of who this character is and what his relationship is with Kakashi. We get to see that Kakashi was like some kind of rival, just like Naruto and Sasuke are. And the Rin character is actually in love with Kakashi. Well, that's what we think anyway. Because you see Obito wanting to have Rin, but he never gets the chance. He never actually builds up the courage to confess to her. But anyway, after all of these flashbacks, we get to see Kakashi and Obito, and also Minato, the fourth Hokage, Naruto's dad, basically go on a mission. And I'm not sure, I can't quite remember what this mission was or what was their aim, but Rin was eventually captured by, I think it was the Mist Village, and Obito refuses to carry on the mission without Rin. And this is the moment where we actually see where Kakashi's signature line, "Those who abandon their friends are even worse than scum." We see that Obito is the original creator of that line. And to be honest, that was a line which I have to rate. That is a memorable line which taught Naruto about friendship with Sasuke and all that shit. But anyway, we get to see Obito trying to fulfill the mission. I mean, to save Rin, but something goes wrong and Obito eventually smashes half of his body, leaving one of his Sharingans usable and half of his body usable. But we all know he's gonna die. Like it seems like he ain't gonna survive this, because half of his body's crushed. Kakashi can't move the boulder that's on top of him, so there's no way out. So Obito accepts that he ain't gonna survive. He tells everyone to move on, but he leaves Kakashi a parting gift. He gives him his left Sharingan. So now we see where Kakashi has obtained the Sharingan, even though he's not even an Uchiha. So now we see a boy who's grown up with Kakashi, with Guy, and all these other Jonins that were in the past, which are now senseis of Naruto. We now see that Obito is gone, where apparently he was, until today, where we see Naruto reveal that Tobi is in fact Obito. So Kakashi and everyone's confused. We see, we even see Obito reveal what has happened to him. Like he even explains that he has become the way he is because Kakashi let Rin die. To be honest, I can't remember how exactly Rin died, so I can't wait for the episode which explains it. But I was quite surprised when he said that, because the pacing in this actual episode was actually quite amazing. It was quite fast. Like we get to have a lot of shit thrown into this. We get to see the revelation. We get to see a flashback of Obito, and also the final part, Madara arrives, which leaves a question to you anime viewers. What happened between the battle between Madara and the 5 Hokage? I mean, did he just leave them, or what did he do to the 5 Hokages that allowed him to separate from them and catch up to Obito? So a lot of things were covered in this episode. We get to see a boy named Obito Uchiha who dreamed of becoming the Hokage, who had a crush on Rin, who had a rival, who was rivaled with Kakashi, become bad and turn into an absolute villain who wants to destroy the world. So what's your take on this episode? Give me a comment. And I kind of give this episode about a 7, maybe 7 out of 10. I didn't really enjoy the beginning, but the amount of progression and the amount of progression that we got out of this episode was quite amazing. We got quite a lot of things covered. and it was quite a cool way to reveal how who Tobi actually was. But one more thing which I actually noticed about this episode is the voice acting of each of the characters between Lil Kakashi, Lil Obito, and Tobi or slash Obito itself. Because once the mask was removed, Obito's voice had changed. So I could have sworn that Lil Obito and Lil Kakashi sounded completely different, or maybe just my memory. Maybe I'm just too used to the game or something. So I don't know what's happening there. Maybe they recast the voice actors. So I need to check on the past episodes about that, because I was a bit flustered about what was happening there. But it didn't bother me too much. But aside from the fact that they sound like girls now instead of actual men, which is too bad considering they're kids. But anyway, yeah, this was quite a good episode. I can't wait for the next episode where they show like how Madara, what Obito and Madara are gonna do, and show what has happened to the 5 Hokage. So yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. This is the Salamander signing off. It's good to be back, people.